Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are doing amazing. In today's video, I will be tapping into the energies of the person on your mind and their current feelings towards you. So as per usual, the timestamps will be in the description bar below as well as the comments. So let's just get started here. Okay, so starting off with Aries. The person on your mind and their current feelings towards you. Okay, so we have the Nine of Cups on the bottom of the deck, and we have the Ten of Swords. Seems to me that someone could be viewing you as a missed opportunity, but with the Nine of Cups and the Ten of Swords, I'm getting a strong energy of someone who feels like some sort of wish fulfillment that has come to an end, or it has ended in a form of betrayal. All right. So even if they're, thinking about the relationship or the connection that you guys share and feeling like it is something that makes them very happy, they feel there has been some sort of a brutal ending, or it's like a question of how did it, how did we end up here? How did it get to this point? Strongly getting some sort of wish fulfillment that has come to an end, or this is how they're feeling, energetically. Okay. How is this person feeling about Aries? Okay, so we have the Chariot. Some of you could be dealing with the Cancer, and we have the King of Wands. I see a lot of attraction. I see passion here. With the Chariot being the first card in their feelings, I feel like this is someone who is wanting to see some sort of progress, okay? But I'm specifically getting wanting to move on from something, wanting to move past something. Right, so we did see the Ten of Swords. So again, this could be betrayal. This could just be a painful ending, but they want to move past the part of this connection that feels difficult. And the Chariot is usually, forward movement or progress after some form of acceptance. So it's an energy of, okay, this has happened. I'm not happy with it, but I do want to heal this and move forward from it. So it's letting me know that the way that things ended, or something that occurred between you and this person, even if it was a conflict, it's heavily impacting this person to the point where they feel powerless, to the point where they really want to put it to rest. It's something that's bothering them. It's something that's impacting them. They want to accept it and move on. With the King of Wands, again, I do feel like this is someone who's very determined. There's a lot of passion and a lot of attraction when it comes to you. And we have the Three of Wands. So when you have the King of Wands and the Three of Wands, this is someone who's making a plan to move closer to you, or making a plan to, it could even be figuring out how to approach you, how to, converse with you here. But the Three of Wands is giving me a strong energy of planning. Someone who's like, okay, I want to move towards Aries. I want to speak to them. What should I say? I'm also strongly getting here with the Three of Wands and the King of Wands. There's some sort of distance between you and this person this week that is really impacting them. So it's wanting to accept what has happened, move closer to you, but the distance is something that is, emotionally impacting them. This person could even be waiting for some sort of a sign from you, or it could be that they're subliminally hinting something at you this week, whether it's, via social media. Maybe you see this person, at work, or they're in your environment here, but I do see them subliminally hinting something at you and waiting for some sort of a sign, okay? The Chariot is being clarified by the Page of Swords. So there's a lot of spying going on. I feel like if this person has access to your social media, they're definitely, keeping tabs on you. And the Page of Swords is a very curious energy, although it's not direct. Right? It's someone who's very curious about you, wanting to figure something out, but they're not directly asking you. So whether it be, like I said, using social media as an example, maybe you guys have mutual friends and they're asking about you here. But there's something here they're trying to figure out about you. And I'm specifically getting it's like where you stand or how you're feeling. And because there's distance or there's a lack of communication, even though this is someone who's very determined to move closer to you, I feel like there's some sort of information that they want to figure out on their own prior to moving towards you. So it could be how you feel. It could be if you're dabbling in something new, right? It's like wanting the answers to a specific question prior to moving towards you. There could also be a little bit of a fear when it comes to rejection here also. And we have the Sun card. Some of you could be dealing with a Leo. Something that you have communicated to this person in the past is making sense to them in the now. The Sun card is all about, something being illuminated to this person this week. But I'm strongly getting it's like I could read it as a full circle moment, but I'm also getting an energy of someone who's like, okay, that makes sense to me now, but it didn't make sense to me then. So there could have been something about your perspective or your feelings that you communicated to this person in the past that kind of left them a little bit confused. But I do see them gaining clarity on that very thing. There's also a lot that they're learning about you, and they feel like they misunderstood you as a person, or like I said, something that you specifically communicated in the past. The Sun card clarifying the King of Wands, which is your energy. It's something being illuminated about you, something making sense about you to this person that maybe did not make sense to them in the past. Ten of Pentacles clarifying the Three of Wands. This is someone who wants things to be stable between the both of you. They do have commitment on their mind, but the Ten of Pentacles is usually something that you have to, work towards on a daily basis, or it's something that you have to kind of chip away at in order to see the end results. It's not necessarily considered an overnight process. So there is some form of stability or that this person is working towards when it comes to this connection. But the block that I see here is trying to figure something out on their own prior to coming forward. And with the Page of Swords and the Chariot, I also strongly feel like there's something here this person is trying to move past, but it feels difficult. And this is a week where it's becoming so draining to the point where they're like, I have to accept this. I have to accept this in order to move past it, even if I want a new beginning. It's almost like the very thing that either caused an ending or something that you guys are disagreeing on is really impacting them on an emotional level. And this is something that's coming up persistently in their feelings. The Nine of Pentacles. This person could also be working on their own stability. Okay, there could be some sort of change when it comes to their, finances or employment here this week. But being on their own or having to turn inward has made them realize a lot when it comes to you or the connection that they share with you. So in a way, this person feels like a separation or time apart was much needed in order for them to gain clarity on this situation here. But there's something pertaining to their stability that they're trying to improve. Okay, so whether it's, they've recently taken some sort of a financial hit, or they just feel like they want to be at a better place, stability-wise. King of Pentacles. You could be dealing with an earth sign. But I'm strongly getting someone who's taking more of a grounded approach when it comes to attaining some sort of stability with you. So whether it be that things were very, fast moving in the past, or this is someone who knows that they're passionate about you and there's like this very fiery energy where this person feels like a magnetic pull towards you, they may have acted on those emotions in the past impulsively, but it didn't work out the way that they wanted it to. So now it's wanting more stability, but doing things the right way or taking things one day at a time. Three of Cups. So for some of you, this person definitely could have been indecisive in the past, or there could have been an interference here. What's a Three of Cups? The Four of Wands, yeah. Coming back together with you is basically the main thing that I see here. And a persistent download as this person feels they need to move past how things ended or something you guys were disagreeing on in order to come together with you. For example, the Three of Cups and the Four of Wands could quite literally be an interference or someone who was being very indecisive. And it could have led to, a conflict, or it could have led to you being very open and honest with this person. So even if it's some sort of communication or a conversation they're having a hard time moving past, they know they need to accept that in order to have a new beginning here. There's something that's very difficult for this person to kind of like digest, if that makes sense. And so I do see that as a block, although I feel like the end goal here is to move towards reconciliation with you. Okay, so that's what I'm getting for you guys. Moving on to Taurus. Okay, Taurus. So let's see. The person on your mind and their current feelings towards you. Okay, so we have the Five of Cups on the bottom of the deck, and we have the Seven of Wands. The person on your mind, Taurus, I feel like they strongly miss you. Okay, they do miss you, but they're very, very defensive about something here, or there's a very guarded energy. Right? When you have the Five of Cups, it's someone who's, focused on the past. There could be a little bit of dwelling going on, but the Seven of Wands could be a bit of a guarded energy, or it could be someone who's feeling defensive, right? It may be that they're missing you, but they feel like, if they were to return or communicate with you, then they would be going back on their word, or they would be, ultimately breaking a promise that they've made to themselves here. You have someone here, Taurus, who is, going back and forth between what their heart is telling them or how they're feeling versus, their ego or pride. There's something here that they're holding on to that is not allowing them to fully speak to you or open up to you, right? But they are missing you behind that. So internally, there's a lot going on, and there's a battle between, the ego and the heart here, if that makes sense. So let's see. How is this person feeling about Taurus? Okay, so the Queen of Cups, some of you could be dealing with the water sign, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, and the Nine of Cups, which is the card that wanted to flip out. What's interesting here, Taurus, is I see someone who feels very deeply towards you, okay? But with the Queen of Cups and the Nine of Cups, there's something here that they're focusing on in terms of themselves right now, where it's like whether it's something that they're healing through, whether it's another situation in their life that needs most of their attention or most of their focus this week, right? But I'm strongly getting they are thinking of you, but there may even be a level of feeling like they were selfish in the past or they were inconsiderate of your emotions. And what I see in the now is them focusing on themselves, or there's a situation at hand for them, even if it's, a family member, a friend, or someone in their social circle, that it's requiring a lot of attention and energy from this person where it could lead to them feeling very drained. They are viewing you as someone who makes them very happy, but they're holding back from being completely open with you because of something else that they're still holding on to. Holding back because they're holding on to a level of frustration or anger, or there's something in particular that they communicated to you, and they may feel like they're, they would have to go back on their word if they were to open up to you. The King of Swords. This person could be viewing you as very detached, or they feel like you're moving on from the situation. This could be a week where it's very hard for this person to kind of read how you're feeling. For example, if this is someone that you see on a daily basis, maybe you're not showing much emotion, or it's more you're kind of in like that poker face energy, if you will. And so they are having a hard time reading you. But with the King of Swords, I'm also strongly getting an energy of someone who feels like what is over is something that they need to make peace with, but their emotions are involved, or they're still involved, so they're still reminded of you, or they're still thinking of you. What's interesting is I do sense deep emotion from, in this person's feelings, but I also feel like they're fighting those emotions or not wanting to feel them. Because I'm sensing the emotion here, but I'm also sensing someone who's not allowing themselves to sit in those emotions or actually feel them. So this may be a week where they're even using something as a distraction to avoid thinking about how they feel when it comes to you, when it comes to the situation with you. The Star. Some of you could be dealing with an Aquarius. There's something very special about you, Taurus. There's something very special about this connection that you guys share. The Star card is usually, where, or it could be where this person feels like this is something that they once wished for. This is what they felt would make them very happy. But there could be a question of how did we end up here, or how did it get to this point? Star card is also about healing, right? When you have the Queen of Cups and the Star card, there may be something here that is causing this person to turn inward and say, okay, well, maybe I need to work on certain things, or there is something in particular that I need to heal in order to have a successful relationship with Taurus. There is a level of hope that this person is holding on to with the Star card. But there's also an energy of, okay, this is the reality of the situation and this is what's going on for me mentally and emotionally. And the block that I'm sensing in this person's feelings is not allowing themselves to completely feel the emotions that are coming through. Even if it's specifically this week, there's like a shield or an energy of, okay, I don't want to think about that. I don't want to feel that. So there is a bit of an avoidant energy, specifically when it comes to the emotional department. So we have the Nine of Swords clarifying the Nine of Cups. So needless to say, this person is very stressed out here. The Nine of Swords, it could be someone who's losing sleep, someone who can't stop thinking about you or the situation with you. And it's also there's also a very anxious energy associated with the Nine of Swords, where there's a heavy focus on the future or what's going to happen next. So this person, even though they feel like something is over, they're still anticipating that something is going to happen. Whether it's because they're holding on to a level of hope or they genuinely feel like there's unfinished business, they're waiting for something to happen. But on the other hand, they're trying to accept that things are over. So, this person is going through a lot emotionally and mentally with the Nine of Swords. And that's usually, it could be loss of sleep. It could be loss of appetite when you don't feel like yourself. And you feel very consumed by your thoughts. So what I see is this person feels very consumed by thoughts of you or the connection here. Queen of Wands. I'm strongly getting, Taurus, that something could have moved very quickly in this connection here, because that's coming up in their feelings. Like whether it's someone who feels like they spoke too soon, they acted too soon on their emotions, or they were, careless and kind of just doing things impulsively. There's something about the pace of this bond that's coming through here. King of Swords, it's being clarified by the Queen of Wands. Some of you, this person feels like while they were connecting with you, they were keeping their options open, or there could be an energy of someone here who receives a lot of attention that somehow impacted the connection here, or the ability for the both of you to come together. Whether it's someone here is in the public eye, or they just receive a lot of attention, it could have led to, the opposing party feeling a level of neglect. The Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, it's a very odd energy, because I am sensing someone who is trying to accept a change, trying to let go, but also waiting for something to change, waiting for something to happen. So I think it's safe to say that this person is kind of in between worlds this week, or the emotions are a little bit contradicting here. Two of Cups. Yeah, this is someone who feels like they're still in love with you. Despite the distance, or even if this person is not communicating with you in the current moment, when they think of you, they know that they are still in love with you, or they know that the emotions are still very deep. But here's the thing, they're not allowing themselves to feel the emotions entirely. They know this deep down, and they've acknowledged it. But this is the week where they're like, okay, I don't want to think about Taurus too much, or I don't want to feel these emotions, because they feel like they go, down some... like almost like a downward spiral here, or it leads to something that feels very that they feel very consumed by, especially with the Nine of Swords. I think what's making it difficult for this person to move forward or fully accept that something is over is because they still feel very deeply towards you. So even if they avoid thinking about it or they're running from their emotions, I feel like this person is specifically reminded of you at night. Okay. The Queen of Pentacles. There definitely could have been, more than just you and this person involved here. There could have even been like a mother figure that somehow impacted this connection here, whether it be, family on your side, this person's side. That's a specific message. What's the Queen of Pentacles? The Devil. This person, they could be going through an internal battle, right? Whether it's a mental battle, something that they're thinking about. The Devil could also touch on addictions, right? But it could also just be someone who feels restricted by their environment, right? Whether it's a family member, a friend, or someone or something that's in the way where it didn't allow them to completely invest in a situation with you. What I see is someone who is struggling to forget you or move on, but they also feel like they need to accept that something is over. The reason why I feel with the Nine of Swords and the Devil, this person is having difficulty this week is they're not allowing themselves to feel the emotions that are coming through. There's some sort of a distraction here. And in order to truly heal, accept something and move on, you have to allow yourself to heal, right? Just generically speaking. So I think that is, or I know that is what is creating a block here for this person. Some of you could be dealing with a Capricorn also. Okay? So that's what I'm getting for you guys. Moving on to Gemini. Okay, Gemini, let's see. The person on your mind and their current feelings towards you. Okay, guys, so we have the Five of Wands on the bottom of the deck. Okay. And the Death card. Some of you could be dealing with a Scorpio. But what I see here is the person you're thinking about, they feel like some sort of chaos or some sort of drama is finally come to an end. Has finally come to an end, right? The Five of Wands could be like a very chaotic situation. It could be a situation where more than two people are involved, right? Maybe the opinion of others, but there's definitely some sort of external influence that was impacting this connection. But it's almost like, I'm glad that, the drama is over, or I'm glad that the chaos is over and I'm gaining some sort of clarity, for myself here. How is this person feeling about Gemini? There could have been something very, very difficult, okay, about this situation where it was also ongoing. Like it wasn't coming to an end, or it was like a pattern. It was very repetitive. So there's almost like a finally moment, right? Even if it feels a bit bittersweet, this person is glad that some sort of chaos has come to an end. Okay. It could even be a lot of arguing or, constant bickering here. Let's see. So we have the Lovers, which is your energy. Okay. And the Star. Wow. Some of you could be dealing with an Aquarius. Maybe you're dealing with another Gemini like yourself. But with the Lovers as well as the Star card here, guys, this is someone who still feels very connected to you, okay? But they're starting to learn some sort of a lesson, behind this connection here. So whether it's, again, I am picking up on something that was ongoing or like something that felt very repetitive. So this person could feel like they weren't really understanding why things were, progressing the way that they were between the both of you. But there's some sort of a lesson that it's becoming very clear to this person this week. And they feel like they've met you for a reason. They may even view this connection as some sort of a catalyst for their growth. And with the Star card, it's an energy of, I want to heal from this, or I'm ready to accept this now. Even if it's conflict that this person was kind of running from in the past, or there was an ongoing issue and they were avoiding it instead of finding a solution. It's hitting them full throttle this week. They feel like there's a deeper reasoning as to why the both of you have crossed paths. There's a deeper reasoning as to why you guys connected on a deep level, but there were so many obstacles because there's something that feels very complex about the situation. So like with the lovers, it could be two people that feel very, two energies that feel very connected, although it boils down to needing to make a decision. Or it could be a very intense connection where there's still a level of confusion there. So something is not stable, or there's like a very indecisive energy. So this person could feel like, I feel so connected to Gemini, and I understand that this is a very, deep connection that we share, although there's constantly an obstacle, or why were we not able to get this connection off the ground? It didn't feel easy or smooth sailing between the both of you, even though the connection that you guys felt between each other was very much there, or it was very strong. It could have been a very intense connection with a lot of difficulties, is what I'm seeing in their feelings. The Two of Pentacles. This could be a week where this person is, kind of like trying to balance it all with the Two of Pentacles. That could be an energy of someone who has a lot going on. But I'm also strongly getting, the Two of Pentacles could also be read as like juggling. And I did pick up on a bit of an indecisive energy. So this could be someone who feels like, okay, I know I was in a back and forth energy, but what's interesting is that has not changed. There's still something here that they're going back and forth about. There's still something here that they're not decided on. So even if they're sensing or they're learning some sort of a lesson, they're still thinking about you. They're still thinking about returning or moving forward. Do I communicate? Do I leave it alone? They're not fully decided, or they haven't come to a firm decision as of yet, is what I'm sensing here. The Queen of Cups clarifying the lovers. I definitely feel like it's someone who's acknowledging their emotions towards you, but they're also feeling very empty, or they're feeling some sort of a void here. The Queen of Cups in this deck, it is giving me an energy of someone who, is thinking about you, possibly even missing you, but there's an unhappy feeling there, or there's a bit of sorrow associated with thinking of you or this connection here. I'm also strongly getting that this is someone who is keeping, their emotions and their thoughts to themselves. They're not really going to anyone for help. They're trying to follow their intuition, because the Queen of Cups is all about listening to your heart, or listening to how you feel, your intuition, that sort of thing. But what's interesting is we have the Two of Pentacles. So there's a part of them that's trying to be logical. Then there's a part of them that feels like their emotions are taking over. They could feel very overwhelmed when it comes to their feelings, is what I'm picking up on. The Ace of Wands. I definitely feel like this is someone who wants to heal what has occurred between the both of you. And the Ace of Wands could be, symbolic for a new beginning, or wanting to restore some sort of passion, in this connection. It's like, I want to feel that spark again, or I want to get to a place where we're happy with each other and not stressed out. Because what I'm strongly getting here, Gemini, is this person does feel connected to you, but they also feel like there's so much that has happened in this connection between the both of you, where they know that you are most likely as drained as them, emotionally, where it's like, okay, we've been through so much together, and I do want to, restore the passion or feel excited about this connection again, but it's most certainly not going to be a walk in the park. The Emperor. This could be like a business owner, or someone who's in a position of authority as well, with the Emperor. But they're trying to get things in order, or they're trying to feel stable again. With the Two of Pentacles and the Emperor, whether it's juggling or doing too many things at once, or spreading themselves too thin, that caused them to feel like there's a lack of stability in their life, this is a week where they're getting things in order. There could even be something pertaining to their finances that was a little bit out of whack, or it was a bit like all over the place, and they're trying to get that, again, in line, or they're trying to, be at a more stable space, is pretty much what I'm picking up on here. The Emperor and the Two of Pentacles is also someone who knows they need to make a firm decision. So it's not just thinking about it, it's doing it, right? It's like, okay, I've been going back and forth about this for too long. I need to decide because it's causing me to feel overwhelmed and it's stressing me out mentally. There could also be something that is coming up for this person this week that they feel like is their responsibility. This could be like if they have children of their own. This could be if there's some, they're, a caregiver, or it's like a family member or a friend that needs their assistance. There's something here that they feel like they feel like it is their responsibility to find a solution or deal with that very situation. 9 of Cups. What's interesting is this person is hoping that you're happy. It's like they know what you're deserving of, or they're hoping that you're not going through the emotions, or they're just, they're wishing for your happiness. They're wanting you to be happy here with the 9 of Cups and the Queen of Cups. But what's interesting is they're holding on to a lot of sorrow, a lot of pain. They're almost looking at the situation like this was so chaotic and I am so drained, but if I'm drained, then so is Gemini, right? So like just looking at the situation from a logical perspective, even when they're kind of like taking their emotions out of it, they still feel like it's a situation that was very stressful for the both of you. And it's like, I'm glad that we're over the stressful part, but now I want to heal from it. The Wheel of Fortune, letting something happen on its own. I mean, there is a desire for a new beginning, but this person feels like they need to go with the flow, where if something is going to end or a chapter needs to close, then it's happening for a reason. Especially with the Lovers and the Star card and being the first 2 cards in their feelings, they think that things are unfolding the way that they are supposed to. There's something here they feel they should not tamper with. It's like, okay, if it's going to happen like that, I need to allow it to unfold like that. So there could even be some sort of control that they're releasing. 7 of Wands. As this person, is processing their emotions with the Emperor and the 7 of Wands, there is something here that they're feeling a bit defensive about. 7 of Wands is also an energy of standing your ground, right? So there could be something here that the both of you are not agreeing on, or you're not seeing eye to eye on this very thing, but this person feels like agreeing just for the sake of agreeing is only going to, bring up or raise more conflict between the both of you in the long run. So it's really a strong energy of we need to accept what is, or even if it's something we're disagreeing on, we need to, agree to disagree. We can't just pretend that we agree with each other, because it is something that's going to resurface. And I feel like this is someone who's acknowledging how intense this connection feels, but maybe also how complicated it felt when it came to getting things off the ground here. What's the 7 of Wands, the Queen of Wands, and the 4 of Swords? They're still very stuck on you mentally. I do think that this is someone who's still, thinking about you. 4 of Swords, it is an energy of healing, but it could be, paired with the 7 of Wands, it could be someone who feels very restless. But it's like, it's almost like I feel this person is feeling an intense connection towards you, but they're also acknowledging that there's something here that feels like a deal breaker, or something here that feels like it's, not working, and they don't want to be forceful, or they don't want to force something to work, because they know it's only going to last for the time being, and then moving forward, it may be something that resurfaces again or causes another conflict between the both of you. This is someone who feels like they really want this connection to work, but maybe in the past they were willing to, do anything to make this connection work, but it didn't necessarily lead to stability. So it's more of a realistic approach this time around. Okay, so that's what I'm getting for you guys. Moving on to Cancer. Okay, Cancer. So let's see. The person on your mind and their current feelings towards you. Okay, so we have the 5 of Wands on the bottom of the deck and the 9 of Cups. Cancer, with the 5 of Wands and the 9 of Cups, it's like The person on your mind, they are viewing you as someone who makes them very happy. Although with the Five of Wands, it's like a question of why can I not be in a situation that makes me happy? Or why does something or someone that makes me very happy have to come with a lot of complications here? So there could be something about this relationship that feels very complicated, or they feel like they're unable to get it off the ground here. Right? Like I said, they are viewing you as someone that they feel very emotionally fulfilled with, or they are content. But with the Five of Wands, that could be, you know, a constant obstacle that's always in the way, or some sort of external influence that's negatively impacting the connection here. It's like they wish that things were more simple between the both of you, or there's something that feels very complex about pursuing a connection with you. Okay. There could also be someone or something that's quite literally in the way of this connection. Let's see. How is this person feeling about Cancer? The Empress. Okay. Some of you could be dealing with a Libra or a Taurus. We have Scorpion energy as well with the Death card. Yeah, I mean, this person is viewing you as their version of an ideal partner, with the Empress being the first card in their feelings. But with the Death card, it's like they feel they could have had it all, or something that was going to make them very happy is something that they couldn't fully grasp. So like this could be someone where like you share a connection with them, but there was a lack of stability, because there's a strong energy in their feelings about not being able to have what they desire, or not being able to be in something that makes them very happy. And with the Death card, it could be accepting an ending, or accepting, a shift, an energetic shift, right? The Death card could also be, someone going through an internal transformation, something that changes in this connection, whether it's you choosing not to speak to this person, whether it's choosing how you speak to this person. But because of the energetic shift, they feel like, okay, I need to accept that things have changed. But Cancer is someone that I view as my version of an ideal partner. And it's almost like I could have had it all, but there's something that's in the way, or there's something that felt very complex about this situation here. I don't think that their emotions or how they view you has changed, but there is something that has shifted in this dynamic, which is making them kind of like have to accept the reality of the situation here. The Empress and the Death card could also be something that comes to an end because someone is realizing their worth, someone is realizing their value, what they bring to the table. So this person could feel like you were tolerating something, or you were satisfied or okay with something until you were not. Whether it's they feel like you became very impatient with the situation, or you outgrew a situation here. We have the Magician. Someone who feels like, they have what it takes to maybe change something or have a new beginning, but they don't truly believe it. Or there's quite literally a block in their environment that makes them feel they can't open up to you entirely or be completely authentic here. The Magician is a card of, manifestation, but when you have the Death card and the Magician, it could also be some form of emotional manipulation. Maybe telling you what you want to hear, or promising to do something when really they were not following through on it, right? So there could be some sort of empty promises that are resurfacing for this person as well. The Queen of Swords. You weren't getting what you wanted from the situation, so you chose to walk away, is how they're viewing you. This person may also feel like you're very fed up with them, or there's like a level of disappointment here. But they are starting to see they are viewing you in a very cold or detached energy this week, where it's like Cancer is not speaking to me the way that they used to. Or maybe some of you are not speaking to them at all, because the Queen of Swords could quite literally be cutting ties with someone. but it's like they're viewing you as someone who has, gained some sort of clarity, which changed your opinion on them and the connection that you guys share. And this is someone who definitely is feeling your absence this week. I think that your silence is speaking volumes. The Knight of Pentacles. They're thinking about you, but they're refraining from doing anything. It's not the most action-oriented energy. It's even someone who feels very stuck. Ever since there has been a change in this dynamic, right? Whether it's, for example, if it's a separation, from that point forward, they have been stuck in terms of they're still thinking about you and thinking about the situation and thinking about what they could have had. But the Knight of Pentacles it's someone who's thinking and maybe even just feeling stuck. It's not the most, solution-oriented energy. The Ace of Wands. This person could be like manifesting an opportunity to speak to you or bump into you. And there is a level of excitement or passion when it comes to communicating with you again, but they don't truly believe that it's going to happen, or there's some sort of negative or pessimistic thoughts that they could be feeding into. For example, when they are feeling positive, maybe they're thinking to themselves, Cancer and I are going to reconnect, and that makes them very happy and that makes them very excited. But then when they look at the reality of the situation, it's almost like coming down to earth, Knight of Pentacles energy, and realizing, well, things have been very stuck between the both of us, or they've been moving very slowly or not moving at all. So the reality of the situation or the current dynamic is very different from what feels good when they're feeling optimistic. Like comparing both of those things. And Magician and the Ace of Wands is usually when you're manifesting some sort of, a new beginning, feeling like the passion is still there, the attraction is still there. But the situation feels very stuck, like the reality of the situation, Judgment. Some of you could be dealing with a Scorpio. We have heavy Scorpion energy. But the Judgment is all about something changing. So this person feels like you have kind of like woken up to what is. And the Judgment is about leaving like an old way of thinking or being behind in order to move towards something new. So there could be some sort of growth or elevation on your end that this person is witnessing, or it's visible to them. And so with the Judgment, it's like, well, Cancer has moved on. They've started a new life, or they're no longer the Cancer that I know. So how am I supposed to believe that we can reconnect? This is someone who's very sure that you do not see them in the same light that you used to. And they can tell by your lack of investment with the Queen of Swords and the Empress. Whether it's you were very consistent with this person in the past, or you would do anything in your power to, make things work. They know that when you detach, you detach for good. You may be someone who takes a while to make that decision, but once you do, there's no, turning around, or you're at the point of no return. The Temperance. Some of you could be dealing with the Sagittarius, trying to make peace with the situation. I'm also strongly getting that they want to restore some sort of balance, in this connection between the both of you. The Temperance could also touch on when you're receiving some sort of downloads, right? Or there's some, it's usually when there's some sort of something that is becoming very clear to you, but you could have trouble accepting it. And it's not really like, it's not really something that's in front of you. It's something that it's more energetic, or you feel it intuitively. So this person could be, accepting an ending, or intuitively they feel like things are over and there's no going back here, but they are having trouble accepting it. There is a part of them that really wants to restore balance here. What's bothering them when they think of you, Cancer, is with the Temperance, it's like, and the Knight of Pentacles, they want to feel at peace when they think of you. There's something here right now that causes them to feel very uneasy. So whether it's a lack of closure, whether it's the way that things ended, they feel very empty, or there's something here they feel they still want to communicate to you. King of Cups. They're trying to remain emotionally balanced. This could be someone who's going to another person for advice, or the King of Cups could sometimes be someone who's like going to, you know, like a therapist, or they're just talking to someone about their issues here. Five of Swords, because they're very mentally conflicted. What I see in this person's feelings is, yes, regret. More than regret, it's like accepting an ending or accepting that something has changed. But they feel like when they think of you, there's always going to be this feeling of conflict, this feeling of what if. Like there's a lot of unanswered questions that comes with this connection here, and they feel like that's something that is just going to continue to be there. So it's almost like no matter what I do, when I think of Cancer now, there's always going to be an uneasy or conflicting feeling associated with it. And I think a lot of it stems from a space of them feeling like they want to reconnect with you, but they don't truly believe that it's going to happen. They feel, whether it's things have been stagnant for a very long time and, you know, you're at the point of no return, or they genuinely see some sort of a shift in you where it's like, I know that Cancer is not going to return, or I know that Cancer doesn't feel the same way. Okay. So that's what I'm getting for you guys. Moving on to Leo. Okay, Leo, let's see. The person on your mind and their current feelings towards you. Okay, so we have the Moon card on the bottom of the deck here. Some of you could be thinking of a Pisces, and we have the Page of Pentacles. I'm hearing hidden message. This may be a week where you're communicating with someone and you're being asked to kind of like read in between the lines of something that is being communicated to you. But with the Moon and the Page of Pentacles, I also feel like it could be someone who's trying to get through to you, but there's some sort of blocks in communication. The word that, or the two words that I was getting is hidden message. And with the Moon, it could be something that's in the dark, something that's in the unknown. So if it's not quite literally someone who is unable to get through to you, it could be they're communicating with you, but there's something that requires you to kind of dig beneath the surface or read in between the lines of what they're telling you. Could also be someone who wants to communicate with you, but they're kind of in the shadows, or they're not really being direct. How is this person feeling about Leo? Okay, the Five of Pentacles, the Hierophant. Some of you could be dealing with a Taurus. Someone who feels like an outsider, but they still feel a level of commitment towards you. Or I could be picking up on an energy of someone who feels like an outsider in your life, or they feel, I no longer have access to Leo, but there was a time where we were committed to each other, or there was a time where we were, you know, deeply involved with each other here. I also feel like there's something here that this connection is teaching this person, something that they're learning. The Hierophant usually comes up in a spread when someone is ready to, you know, go to the next level, or there's some sort of elevation happening because of what they're learning or what they're accepting here. Someone here could also be a teacher or a guide in one way or another. The Hermit. Virgo energy. Yeah, I'm getting a very like an energy of someone who is keeping to themselves, right? They may even feel a little bit isolated this week, and they are missing you and thinking of you, but there's a very discreet energy associated with their feelings here, where it's like, I'm thinking of Leo, I'm missing them, but I'm in the shadows, or I don't want Leo to know that, or I'm keeping that to myself. And there's something pertaining to a commitment that is deeply impacting them, although they're utilizing this time to kind of just think about it by themselves instead of communicate it to you or communicate it to those around them. The Hermit is also about insight and wisdom, right? So whether it's they're having a full circle moment, whether it's something that they're realizing about you, about themselves, what needs to, change or what needs to be altered in order for things to, progress in a more efficient manner. But even though this is someone who's keeping to themselves, they are thinking of you. They are, feeling impacted by this connection. Five of Pentacles could also be someone who's facing or going through some sort of financial struggle. Could be something pertaining to their living situation that is changing. The Seven of Cups. The more they keep to themselves, Leo, the more they become confused. Seven of Cups is emotional confusion. It could be someone who is feeling mixed emotions. When they think about this connection, they do feel that there were a lot of mixed signals between the both of you. Could be dealing with a Scorpio. But Seven of Cups, it is an energy of, keeping your options open, or it could even be so many emotions hitting you at once. But this person is keeping to themselves and trying to figure things out on their own, but it's only leading to more emotional confusion for them is what I'm seeing in their feelings. The Seven of Cups clarifying the Five of Pentacles specifically is an energy of someone who feels confused because of their lack of access to you. Almost like if I was communicating with Leo, that I would have the clarity or I would know exactly where they stand. But now that I'm trying to figure things out on my own, or I have to kind of guess, how Leo is feeling or where they stand, it's only leading me to kind of, make assumptions or thinking of things that I don't know if they're actually true. Seven of Cups and the Five of Pentacles could also be someone who feels like they no longer have access to you because they weren't making a decision about you or this connection with you when they did have access to you. So almost like my indecisive behavior has led to an ending. So if you are very open or just honest with this person about what you wanted, and maybe you said that you were no longer willing to tolerate someone who is treating you like an option or not making a firm decision, that could be something that is resurfacing for them as well. Now, Leo, here's something else that I'm getting, and this is very specific, but the Seven of Cups, I'm getting a strong energy of someone who feels like they were viewing their options or they were taking a long time to make a decision, but something was not what it seemed. Like, the Seven of Cups, there's obviously seven cups there, right? There's an eye in one, there's a cat in another one, there's, a crow or a heart. Like, the point I'm trying to make is not every cup is what it seems, or not every cup is something that is meant for you. So this person could be reevaluating a decision or something that seemed almost an energy of if they felt like the grass was greener on the other side, or something seemed very pleasant initially. It didn't turn out that way. So they feel like their judgment was wrong. Six of Cups. This is an energy of missing you, feeling very nostalgic. You could have a lot of history with this person as well. Some of you may have known this person since childhood. But I'm strongly getting someone who's missing you, someone who's, definitely reminded of you this week and revisiting some sort of past memories that you guys share. But Six of Cups is also associated with an energy of like home, right? So there's something about the connection with you that feels like home, but they know that they were being indecisive or not making a firm decision when it came to this connection, where it's like, was it worth me being indecisive? Right? Was it worth me just, wanting to keep my options open or focus on things that maybe seemed pleasant and flashy in the moment, because now I lost the connection of a lifetime, or a connection that genuinely feels secure and feels like home to me. There's a lot of questioning and reevaluating going on in their feelings. The Magician. They want to reconnect with you, but they're definitely thinking about things very thoroughly. It's like, how do I come back around? What do I say? And you know, more so I'm getting an energy of someone who feels like they've gained clarity, or there's some sort of wisdom that they've gained as they've spent time on their own that is helping them kind of navigate when it comes to the situation with you. The World card. This is some sort of confusion coming to an end. Really what I'm seeing here is it may have taken a separation or some time apart in order for this person to realize that what they wanted was in front of them. But they may have, maybe in some cases, fell into temptation, or they were someone who was keeping their options open and just not making a firm decision. And then when it came to when it got to the point of losing access to you, or no longer, you know, being in this connection here, that's when they're realizing, okay, well, I want this confusion to end, or I'm no longer confused. I know what I want. There could have also been some sort of physical distance between the both of you, and that could have been the reason why this person was failing to make a firm decision. Kind of like if they did not know if they were able to maintain a long distance union, or the physical distance really impacted them to the point where they felt like they could not be in a connection with you. But now that they don't have access to you, it's like, well, was the physical distance that bad, or is it worse that I'm not connecting with Leo at all? Again, a realization, a lot of reevaluation going on. The Fool card, wanting a new beginning here, wanting to, you know, take that leap of faith towards you. It's like disconnecting has given them the clarity that they felt like they needed all along. Something that felt difficult for them in the past, it seems like they're able to do it now. Right? So this is a general reading. You're going to know your situation better than I will. But for example, the very reason or something that felt very difficult for this person in this connection. So for example, if it was physical distance, right? Where you guys had to kind of be patient until you guys were able to move closer to each other. If that felt difficult then, what feels more difficult now is this disconnect and not having access to you at all. 10 of Cups. Yeah. When they think of you, 6 of Cups, 10 of Cups, like happy home, happy family, ideal partner, like these are the things that come to mind for them. This person could even be realizing that despite some sort of distance, you are who they felt the most fulfilled with. Like there could be people in their life, or even if they're connecting with others in their life in the present moment, the connection with you feels deeper even though you're not physically there. And that could be leading them to think, okay, this is someone that I feel very intensely towards. This person may have felt that they would be able to move on or forget about this connection, but that's the furthest thing from the truth is what I'm seeing with that 10 of Cups energy. 10 of Cups, Ace of Wands. What they want is a new beginning. What they want is, you know, a connection or a commitment with you with the 10 of Cups. But I am strongly getting that there may be a conversation about moving closer to each other or feeling closer. And a decision that felt difficult in the past, it doesn't feel so difficult, or it doesn't feel difficult in comparison to having, or it doesn't feel difficult in comparison to not being able to connect with you at all. It's like I would rather accept the distance, or I would rather accept, you know, said thing instead of completely breaking it off with Leo, even if that felt like the easier thing to do in the moment. Okay, so that's what I'm getting for you guys. Moving on to Virgo. Okay, Virgo. So the person on your mind and their current feelings towards you. Page of Swords and the Queen of Cups. Someone is definitely keeping tabs on you. When I see the Page of Swords and the Queen of Cups, I am sensing that it's someone who feels emotionally connected to you, okay? There is something here about them feeling like they should follow their intuition, or they should listen to their emotions, But the Page of Swords, it's an indirect energy, right? So whether it's this is someone who has access to you, but there's still something that they're trying to figure out on their own, or it's someone who's watching you from afar and they're developing emotions, but there hasn't been like an energy of reaching out yet, or they haven't been as direct as they would like to be as of yet. But they're very curious about you, and this could be a week where they're very analytical of you as well, Virgo. This could be an air sign, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini, or a water sign, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Some of you, when I see the Page of Swords and the Queen of Cups, you may have an intuitive hunch, or like there's a gut feeling that you have about someone who is focused on you, or you can sense that someone is pulling on your energy, right? Or tugging on your energy. And that may be, coming up for a reason here. Because the Page of Swords and the Queen of Cups could be when like you're intuitively feeling something, but you're also feeling a little bit skeptical. Like you're like, is what I'm feeling the truth? Or am I just thinking these things? Or why am I randomly thinking about this person? It's for a reason. Okay. There may be some sort of telepathic communication between the both of you. How's this person feeling about my Virgo? Seven of Pentacles, okay, and the Knight of Wands. You have someone here who's rethinking their actions or reevaluating the decisions that they've made when it comes to you or this connection. So Virgo, this could be someone who was very inconsistent with you in the past, or maybe the connection was very intense, very passionate, very fiery, but there was a lack of stability there. And so the Seven of Pentacles is like looking at a situation, analyzing it, seeing what has worked between the both of you, but also seeing where there was room for improvement. And with the Knight of Wands, Virgo, I'm strongly getting like, this could be someone who is very in and out with you, maybe even kind of in like a player-like energy. But I do see them like reevaluating their decisions, or should I have acted that way? Or, the decision that I made, it doesn't like, does it still feel right to me? Is that the right thing to do? I do feel like those are thoughts that are crossing this person's mind. This is someone who's very determined to get your attention, Virgo, but I still don't see it as occurring in a direct way. Like, for example, if they're really wanting to, they're like, I really want to speak to Virgo, there could be something here that they're subliminally hinting at you. Or they're starting a conversation with you that's very surface level, but it's not necessarily like that's not the goal of it. They want to talk about something else, but that's how they're initiating the conversation. Yeah, I could pick, read it as strategic, but it's definitely someone who's not being direct with you. Okay. This is oddly specific, but you may have someone who is like checking up on your social media and, seeing what you're up to, but it's not from their personal account. And that's very specific, guys, right? So if it doesn't resonate with you, don't try and make it fit, or it's not anything to scare you or nothing dramatic, but it's like they don't want you to know that they're still paying attention to you. And there's some sort of strategy behind how they are figuring information out about you. So I am receiving that as a download. Maybe, checking up on you, but not necessarily from, their personal account. The Six of Swords. This is someone who's viewing you as like moving forward or moving on. There could be something here that you're mentally and emotionally detaching from. But the Six of Swords is also a strong energy of like wanting to move past conflict, right? They're moving to calmer waters there. So it's like, I want to reconnect with Virgo. I want to make peace, or I want to be at a place where I feel more at ease when we're communicating with each other. So whether it's something that's causing them to feel uneasy, whether it's something that they've communicated and they want to, clear something up, or they feel like they didn't convey their message in the correct way. What's the Seven of Pentacles? The Nine of Wands. Here's the thing, Virgo, like when I look at this card, right, it is someone who's in like a very like guarded kind of energy here. Not kind of, it is very guarded. You may even have this person blocked. But when I look at the image on the top, it's like there is something here that they're still thinking of, that is still bothering them about this connection. Even if they're not speaking to you, even if it is someone who came off in a very defensive energy, they still feel connected to you, or there's something here that's still bothering them. Because this is someone who is thinking about you, and not only is something impacting them, it's something that they were very nonchalant about in front of you or towards you. So like, even if they were like, you know what, I don't care, that's not going to bother me, I'm just going to move on, it is bothering them. They do care. It is something that is resurfacing for them. And they feel very like it is mentally impacting them this week. There's also a part of them that feels very guarded, whether it's, you know, quite literally like you guys have each other blocked, or it's an energy of feeling maybe some sort of blocks in communication. But this connection is impacting them a lot more than they thought it would. And the reason I say that is we also have the Knight of Wands in this person's energy, which is usually an energy of someone who's able to kind of like move on quickly, or they're you know, always on the go, or they're not dwelling, or they're not stalling on something for long. There's something about the connection with you that is, you know, keeping or making them feel a bit stuck. Like kind of like, why can't I move on? Or why am I still thinking about Virgo? Something doesn't feel as easy as it seemed in their mind, is the best way for me to boil down this energy. The King of Swords. So things could have came to an end between the both of you because of the inconsistent behavior. Whether this is someone who chose to communicate with you when it was convenient for them, whether it's you guys would communicate for weeks on end, and then it would kind of be silent between the both of you for weeks on end. There's something that felt very inconsistent about the communication here. And the King of Swords could be making a clear decision, or maybe even you deciding to cut ties with this person because they're not being consistent with you, or they were not in the past. The Three of Swords. This person feels more torn than they're showing you, is pretty much what I'm getting at. And the Three of Swords and the Six of Swords is like, I want to move to calmer waters, or I want to make some sort of peace here, because when I think about you, I still feel very torn. Yes, the Three of Swords does speak about hurt and heartbreak. So yes, I am acknowledging that this person could feel like they are, in pain. But I'm strongly getting someone who feels very torn when it comes to their decisions or the way that they handled a situation with you. And this may be an individual who doesn't really question or have doubt when it comes to the decisions that they make. But something about the decisions that they've made with you or in this connection is something that's deeply impacting them in the current moment. Ten of Pentacles. That's the King of Swords, the Devil. There could have been some sort of responsibilities or some sort of commitments that were in the way of this person, attaining some sort of stability with you. But with the Ten of Pentacles and the Devil card, that could also be someone who's realizing what they could have had with you, what the both of you could have built together, but how their decisions impacted, the connection here, or how their decisions kind of made things take a left turn instead of, going towards something more stable. But when I see the Knight of Wands, the Ten of Pentacles, and the Devil card as a reader, I'm strongly getting, like, for some of you, this person could be very non-committal. Like, it's a non-committal individual, someone who maybe struggles with emotional intimacy, struggles with opening up. Like, it could be someone that loves conversing with you and you guys have a great time together. There could also be a lot of passion here. But when it comes to stability or opening up about, the sticky topics, or just opening up about, or opening up emotionally, that could be something that this person definitely struggles with. You may have someone here who's a non-committal individual, but something about connecting with you has actually made them think about wanting a commitment, which could be a very big deal for someone who has not wanted that in the past. The Empress. This person really does hold you on a pedestal, and the Empress is, viewing you as the entire package. Some of you may be, or you may have children of your own, and that could be something that this person admires. That could be, they may view you as very nurturing, very caring. Like how you take care of those that you love is something that stands out to this person. Some of you could be dealing with a Libra or a Taurus. What's the Empress? The Five of Swords. Conflict when it comes to you. Conflict because they're conflicted about their decisions or how they've handled the situation with you. It's looking at the situation, right? And saying, this is what I could have had, but these are the decisions that I made. And really, if I'm digging beneath the surface here, it's someone who may have not expected to fall for you, or they did not have commitment on their mind. And so once that became something that was on their mind, or they started to develop emotions, they could have chose to run from this connection, or completely cut ties, or continue to be inconsistent. But the reason why it's still impacting them on a mental level is they're still thinking, well, what if? Or they're still acknowledging that connecting with you has made them think about committing to someone. Okay? So that's what I'm getting for you guys. Moving on to Libra. Okay, Libra, let's see. The person on your mind and their current feelings towards you. Okay, so we have the Six of Wands on the bottom of the deck. And the Judgment. Some of you could be dealing with a Scorpio. Six of Wands and the Judgment. Someone here could be in the public eye, okay? Or this could be an individual who views you as someone who's like highly sought after, or you receive a lot of attention. But with the Six of Wands and the Judgment, I'm strongly getting like rising above, or being able to move past something that was once really weighing someone down here. How is this person feeling about Libra? There could be some sort of a breakthrough moment in this connection this week, or so that's how this person feels. Like something is finally happening, or, whether it's the energy has been stagnant for a very long time and they're starting to see some sort of progress. But what I was specifically getting is like a breakthrough moment. Okay. So we have the Three of Wands, followed by the Devil and their feelings. Some of you could be dealing with the Capricorn. This person feels like they're thinking about you a lot more than usual this week. Like the Devil could be, symbolic for some sort of like consistent thoughts, maybe even to the point where it's like, I want to stop thinking about this, but I can't. There could even be something in particular that this person is revisiting, okay, when it comes to this connection here. And it could feel stressful, but it's also something that they're continuously thinking about. Now, with the Three of Wands and the Devil, there could be some sort of distance between you and this individual that's impacting them. The Three of Wands is also a card of planning, right? So, for example, if there's some sort of physical distance, it could be that they're trying to create or they're trying to, create or make a plan to move closer to you, but there's some sort of blocks that they feel with the Devil card there. And I'm strongly getting like they're wanting something to work out, right? Or they have like a vision in their mind, but there's some sort of a block that they feel in their reality when it comes to achieving that vision or attaining that, desire that they want here. Where it's like, this is what I want, but something is in the way, or I'm in my own way. Because a Devil card could also be where you're feeding into your pessimistic thoughts, or there's something that you're actively doing that no longer serves you. But it's also something that's very difficult to completely detach from. And it definitely won't be like an overnight process. The Page of Swords. This could be someone who's watching you, from afar. Page of Swords, Three of Wands. It could be a very, it could be a very indirect energy, whether it's keeping tabs on you, trying to figure something out about you, but not necessarily asking you those questions. But it's like there's also some sort of strategy involved when it comes to returning or communicating with you here. Whether it's they feel like they're walking on eggshells or they only have one chance to get something right or communicate something to you. They're being very careful with their choice of words or being very diligent in some sort of a plan that they're creating is pretty much what I'm getting at. There may also be an age gap between you and this person, and maybe for some of you there are children in this dynamic. The Three of Wands being clarified by the Nine of Pentacles. This person could also be working on their stability, or there could be something pertaining to their stability that is changing for them this week. But I'm strongly getting someone who wants to feel stable on their own, or there's something that they're working on prior to, coming forward. What's interesting is we have the Devil there. So it's like there may even be something here this person is acknowledging that they need to work on, but it feels difficult. So it's like they're acknowledging it, they're thinking about it, but they're not necessarily taking the steps towards finding a solution this week. It could be something that is just kind of like they're pondering, or it's just kind of in their mind. There's some sort of a void that this person feels, or a very empty feeling here. What's the Devil? The King of Wands. This is someone who still feels very strongly towards you. And the King of Wands is also a very determined energy, right? So it's like even if there's something here that they're battling, right? Whether it's something for them mentally or emotionally, maybe it's addictions or a bad habit, they're very determined to move past it. But they're also very determined to reconnect with you. And that's where this is stemming from. Kind of like I can't connect with, Libra until I fix said thing or until I detach from said thing. It's not going to be an overnight process. It's not going to be something that feels easy, but they are wanting to heal it or find a solution here is what I see. Their desire for you, their passion to reconnect with you or build something with you is what's fueling them in making a decision this week or finding a solution for what's hindering them or what's in their way. Page of Swords, Six of Swords. Wanting to move closer to you, wanting to feel closer to you. But what's causing them to feel uneasy on an emotional or mental level, they feel they need to move past that or accept that in order to have something successful with you. And when you have the Devil upright, I mean, it's something that they're still working through. For example, with the Page of Swords and the Six of Swords, there could be something that is visible to them that is causing them to feel like you've become more distant, towards them. Whether it's you're dabbling in something new, even if it's not that you're dabbling in something new, but you're just focused on yourself in that Nine of Pentacles energy, like they are viewing you as very detached or moving forward, kind of turning your back towards a situation. So this is someone who feels a level of urgency with the King of Wands, kind of like I need to do something and I need to do something now. But there's also a very strong energy of doing something the right way or feeling like they only have one more chance. But I'm strongly getting someone who feels like they're limited on time. And it's stemming from a space of feeling like, you're moving forward, or there's quite literally something that is visible to them, like I said with the Page of Swords, that is letting them know that you're no longer interested or no longer as invested as you once were. Four of Swords, feeling very restless when it comes to you, when it comes to this connection here. Praying for a blessing, praying for a breakthrough. Because what I see is this person's having a breakthrough, as I said in the beginning of the spread, when it comes to them realizing what needs to change, when it comes to them realizing what's in the way or what's hindering them from creating something with you. But in order to see a breakthrough in the connection, it may have to start off with an internal change. Eight of Pentacles. This person could feel very overworked this week. There could also be a strong energy of I'm ready to put forth the effort or work on what's in the way so that I can work together with Libra. So even though this could be someone who is stalling or it feels very difficult to move past something or work through something, they're still going to do it. Like I said, it's a very determined individual. The Six of Pentacles, wanting to invest in this situation with you. This may result in some sort of like a kind gesture or this person gifting you something. But the Eight of Pentacles and the Six of Pentacles could just be an increase in effort, or someone showing you, hey, I do care, through their actions. What's the Six of Pentacles? The Hanged Man and the Four of Wands. Reconciliation is what's on their mind. But with the Hanged Man, it requires a change in perspective, looking at things from, a different angle, altering something that's not currently working. So I think, needless to say, there's a lot of internal changes this person feels they need to make prior to reconciling with you or coming together here. And I feel like if things are stuck or stagnant, that is an energy that is going to continue until there's some sort of a change that this person makes. They are thinking of reconnecting with you. They are wanting to come towards you, and they're very determined. But the Devil and the King of Wands is, first they need to move past something that's directly impacting them. So whether it's something internal or it's something in their environment that they feel is under their control. Okay. So that's what I'm getting for you guys. Moving on to Scorpio. Okay, Scorpio. So the person on your mind and their current feelings towards you. Okay, so we have the Two of Wands on the bottom of the deck and the Eight of Pentacles. This could be someone that you work with. But with the Two of Wands and the Eight of Pentacles, there may be something pertaining to their finances or their work that's requiring most of their attention this week. Or there could be something that's like impacting their stability, where it's like, okay, I need to focus on this, or I need to get things in order, in order to feel like myself again, or in order to feel more stable. And with the Two of Wands, like, this could also be someone who is like, waiting for some sort of a sign from you. Like, yes, I could read it as like subliminally hinting something at you, but I do feel like they're waiting for a sign, or maybe there has been some sort of a waiting game between the both of you. So how does this person feel about Scorpio? Four of Cups, the Five of Pentacles. Okay. I can read this a couple of different ways, but what I'm getting here with the Four of Cups and the Five of Pentacles is things have been stagnant for a very long time, where this person is not sure if anything is going to change between the both of you. Okay. With the Four of Cups, that could be, a situation that, they feel like they're growing very impatient with it, because they're constantly wanting something to happen between the both of you, or they're constantly waiting for a change, but maybe they feel like you guys are disagreeing on something. But Five of Pentacles, it's definitely someone who's missing you or feeling like an outsider here. But Four of Cups is an energy of things are not happening the way that I want them to. It's an energy of not feeling content in the current moment. I mean, needless to say, they're not content with the, the dynamic and where it is right now. But I'm also strongly getting like there's something they're thinking of, or there's visions of the both of you that they're stuck in. But the Four of Cups is fantasizing, visions, daydreaming, but it's not really action oriented. And the Four of Cups and the Five of Pentacles could be, okay, well, I'm an outsider in Scorpio's life, or I no longer have access to them, so I just need to accept what it is. Also, guys, like Four of Cups could be when what you want is right in front of you, but it's not being presented to you the way that you want it to, so you're choosing not to act on it. So, in traditional tarot, in the Four of Cups, there's like a cup in front of him that he's not seeing. So it could be symbolic for a missed opportunity, where this person is focusing on the past, or maybe focusing on something to the point where they feel like it's not in their control when really it is. But I'm also getting an energy of not being happy in the current dynamic, but not really knowing if something is going to change, right? Maybe on your side, you feel like the ball is in their court. Maybe on their side, they feel like the ball is in your court. But because something is remaining the same, it is causing them to feel very hopeless this week, is what I'm sensing. The Moon card, a very hidden energy. There may even be a lack of communication between the both of you. There's a lot in terms of their emotions that they're keeping to themselves. Some of you could be dealing with the Pisces. But I don't want to say it's a hidden energy or it's more of someone who is feeling these deep emotions or who is feeling a great deal of pain, but they're keeping it to themselves. They're almost suppressing these emotions. And I'm strongly getting that this person could even be using work as a distraction, or they're just pouring into their work because they feel when they think about the situation, they become very hurt. The Moon card, it also touches on like two different sides to a situation. My apologies, guys, but the Moon card, it also touches on like two different sides to a situation, right? So this person could feel like you guys have a lot of fun together and the conversations are great. And that could be like the wild side of the card. But there's also a domestic side where this person could be seeking or wanting something to feel more stable between the both of you. But with the Four of Cups being the first card in their feelings, it's almost like what they're thinking or what they're wanting, they don't know if they can actually attain that with you. Because of what has happened in this dynamic, or because of maybe even if things have been stagnant for a very long time between the both of you, it could be, this is what I want and this is what I'm working towards, but I don't know if it seems realistic. I don't know if, Scorpio's emotions have changed. Because Four of Cups could also be someone who's questioning your interest, feeling that you don't feel the same way about them, or there's something about your perspective that has changed when it comes to this connection or this bond here. The Nine of Wands. You could have this person blocked, maybe they've blocked you, but even though there's a blocked, even if there is a blocked energy with the Nine of Wands, I feel like this connection is still impacting this person. They're still thinking about you. They're still impacted because their emotions are involved. There's an energy of, okay, Scorpio and I are not speaking, but I'm still thinking about them because I feel like there's unfinished business. It's not something that's easy for me to just walk away from or completely let go. But I will say there's a strong energy of this person feeling like they need to remain held back and allow things to unfold the way that they should. Or it could be someone who is remaining held back, but they're hoping that you are going to reach out, or they're waiting for some sort of a sign or a gesture from you. There could also be something about the situation that they don't trust. And in no way am I saying that you've given this person a reason to not trust the situation, but there could be something that they're feeling a bit suspicious about, even if it's just an assumption. Right? So for example, if the both of you haven't been speaking for a very long time, maybe they're assuming that you're no longer interested or you're interested elsewhere. Doesn't make it the truth, but it is what's coming up in their feelings. There's some sort of suspicion or assumptions that I'm seeing here. Justice. Some of you could be dealing with the Libra. This could be someone who feels like the separation was much needed in order for the both of you to gain some sort of clarity, but the Justice card also touches on doing things the right way. Right? Doing what they feel is right, or even being truthful. And this is not necessarily to play the blame game, guys, right? But it could, like, it's not about, oh, even if there's something you want to be truthful about, right? There's just a strong energy of, I want to have an own, like a truthful and honest conversation with Scorpio. I want to make things right. I want to, make things clear. So like they feel like there's a lot of questions that they have, or they feel like there's a lot of things that went unanswered, and they want to sit down and speak to you about it. And again, Justice card could also be like an apology or making something up to you if they feel like they were in the wrong. What's the Moon? The Six of Cups. So they're suppressing their emotions, but they really miss you. Six of Cups is someone who really misses you. It's a very nostalgic energy. It's revisiting memories from the past. And despite, any suspicion or this person feeling very guarded, they are still feeling very connected to you. They do want to speak to you. They do want to return. But I feel like there's something that they want to see from your end. And again, Scorpio, maybe, fair enough. If you want to see some sort of action from their end, that's fine too. But this is what's going on in their feelings, right? So it's a strong energy of, I want to see something from Scorpio's end, or I want to, sorry about that, guys. I want Scorpio to reach out, or I want to see a sign from Scorpio. It's almost like that's their way of checking if you care or if you're still invested. With that Four of Cups, they're definitely questioning your emotions towards them. Page of Swords, definitely keeping tabs on you. But again, Page of Swords is someone who's maybe checking up on you, not checking up on you. They are, but it's indirect, right? So whether it's via social media or being very curious, but they're not reaching out or being direct, right? So not directly communicating with you. The High Priestess. So I feel like the silence may continue. There could even be some sort of telepathic communication between the both of you with the High Priestess and the Moon. But this is someone who's going to continue, or they're going to remain held back, but they are hoping for, some sort of a breakthrough, or they are praying for a sign from you. The Emperor. They're viewing you as someone who's standing by a decision that you've made. They may feel like you're in a very unshakable energy, or there's something that you've decided and you're just not willing to go back on it. So you're standing, firm in your stance here is pretty much how they're viewing you. But there's a strong energy of I'm going to remain held back, or I need to allow things to unfold the way that the way that I feel like they should. And I say this with complete transparency, guys. I'm strongly getting an energy of someone who really wants you to reach out, or someone who is waiting for a sign from you. I'm not telling you what to do, right? If you have your reasons for not reaching out, sure. But I'm persistently getting that in their feelings. Okay? So that's what I'm getting for you guys. Moving on to Sagittarius. Okay, Sagittarius. Let's see. The person on your mind and their current feelings towards you. You could be thinking of a Capricorn. We have the Devil on the bottom of the deck. Or you could be thinking of a Cancerian. We have the Chariot. I'm getting a strong energy of someone who's trying to accept something so that they could move forward, or they could see some sort of progress, but they're feeling very stuck. Or there's something in particular that is causing them to feel stuck. So whether it's if they're disagreeing, if there's a disagreement between the both of you, right? It's an energy of I want to move past this disagreement. I want to heal it. But there's something here that is causing me to feel uneasy, or there's something here that I'm still frustrated about. Like a block, I'm sensing a block when it comes to progress or moving forward. Let's see. How is this person feeling about Sagittarius? The Wheel of Fortune, okay. Followed by the Three of Wands. So this is someone who feels like they're at a crossroads when it comes to you, or when it comes to this connection. Wheel of Fortune is, yes, it is a change, but it's usually when you feel like you're at some sort of or what feels like a fork in the road. And then we have the Three of Wands. So it's there's a lot of what ifs, or what does the future hold, or what's going to happen next. But they feel a bit torn when they are thinking of you this week. It could be two different paths or two different directions that they could go in, and they're trying to, make a decision or come to a conclusion here. But as far as the Three of Wands, it is a card of planning. So they are, thinking about things thoroughly, trying to create a plan here. But there's something that is causing them to feel stuck. And I strongly feel like it's something that they're still holding on to. We did see the Devil, so that could be, some a level of frustration, sorrow, anger that this person is holding on to, which is also determining their decision. But they feel very torn is the best way for me to explain this energy. There could be something that is occurring, or something that has changed for this person that they really want to share with you. The Wheel of Fortune could definitely be like a positive change, whether it's this person letting go of a bad habit, detaching from something that, you know, no longer serves them, or just good news, right? Like someone receiving a new, or you know, getting a new job, or, you know, there's some sort of good news that this person could want to share with you as well. Four of Wands. So this is a plan about how do I come together, or how do we reconnect? And the Four of Wands does touch on reconciliation, guys, but it's also someone who feels like the both of you have been through a lot together, and you were present throughout many milestones, or you know, pivotal points in this person's life. There could be something that this person is celebrating, or something that they're happy about, but they want you to be a part of that celebration, or they wish that they could share that news with you. Like, this is someone, when something happens, whether good or bad, you are who they think of. You are who they want to tell that to first. So I wonder if there's physical distance between the both of you, or this is a week where there's like on and off communication, or maybe a lack of communication. Because I'm strongly getting someone who wants to communicate something to you, but they don't feel like they can. The Page of Pentacles. Wow. The Three of Wands, the Hierophant. Some of you could be dealing with a Taurus. So the the pages in general, they could be, or they are messengers, right? They are the messengers of tarot. But we have the Hierophant here and the Four of Wands, which is, this person is reaching out to you, even if it's in a light-hearted way, guys. There's something pertaining to a commitment that is going to come up, even if it doesn't, even if it's not something they bring up initially. And keep in mind, they're, you know, conjuring up the confidence, or the courage to reach out to you. This may take some time, because I see someone who's struggling with opening up to you. With the Wheel of Fortune, again, it's like they're torn. Do I reach out? Do I say this, or do I not say anything at all? But even if they come in, like I said, in a very lighthearted way, there's something about a commitment that is going to resurface. Whether it's you guys were in a commitment in the past, or that's something that you guys were working towards, but it wasn't necessarily something that was able to like get off the ground. But it's wanting to reconnect with you, because they still feel very deeply towards you. Even though this person is not committed to you in the current moment, or you guys are not in a commitment, they still feel some sort of commitment towards you, is what I'm getting. Even if it's more of a feeling, or it's like energetic, they feel some sort of a commitment towards you. This is someone who feels like you've impacted their life greatly. The Hierophant could also be symbolic for lessons and things that you learn, and it's usually crucial lessons. Judgment. Some of you could be dealing with a Scorpio. You may not expect this person to reach out to you. The Judgment could also be an energy of someone who has made some sort of a change, right? Or like I said, something has changed in their life, and they're wanting to make that known, or they want, you know, to communicate that to you. They're also wanting a change between the both of you. How this person handled things in this connection in the past, they know it's no longer going to work. So it's doing things in a new way, you know, taking a new approach here. The Judgment is also like a judgment call, a wake-up call, where you can't run from what you feel. So if there's something this person was avoiding, it's hitting them full throttle in the now. Page of Pentacles, Six of Swords. They want to make peace with you. So the pages in the deck, like I said, are messengers. If it's being clarified by the Six of Swords, it's a strong energy of them speaking to you, or them communicating with you in hopes that you guys could move to a place of, you know, things feeling more calm. So maybe the last conversation that you guys had wasn't the best, or they, you know, it was a little bit rocky. So there could be something they want to clear up, but more specifically, I'm getting that they want to feel at ease when they think of you, and they don't feel that way in the current moment. It's like, let's talk so that we could make some peace, or we could kind of, you know, lay things out and figure them out, instead of just not speaking about it at all. It's like just thinking about what's impacting them, or thinking about the last conversation between the both of you as something that's deeply impacting them. The Five of Swords. This person is very conflicted about a commitment, and I'm strongly getting that it's something that's going to come up in a conversation you have with this person, even if it doesn't come up initially. Five of Swords in the Hierophant could be, this is what I could have had with Sagittarius, or this is what we had until we no longer had it, and it's still impacting me because it's something that I still desire. Four of Wands, reconciliation. What's the Judgment? The Two of Wands. There's distance between the both of you with the Two of Wands and the Three of Wands. And then if you do, and then Three of Wands and the Two of Wands would be the Five of Wands. So there could be something they felt that was out of their control that was impacting their ability to be with you or create something stable with you in the past, which is what they're wanting to work through in the now. So if it's not physical distance, where it's like one of you needs to, you know, like it's an energy of, you know, physically needing to move, it could also be emotional distance, a lack of understanding between, you know, two energies, or maybe you wanting something different from this connection in comparison to what this person has wanted. But I'm strongly seeing someone who wants to come together with you, but they want to like make some sort of peace or have a conversation to clear the air. And thinking about a commitment with you still feels conflicting because they're still desiring it. This could even be someone who feels like things ended too soon, or they didn't expect things to end the way that they have. There's something here that feels like unfinished business, or no, maybe it was the wrong time, but Sagittarius and I are going to work this out. Or I know that that is who I'm supposed to be with, but maybe the timing of it is wrong. Or maybe the, you know, there are certain things that need to change before we come together. But this is someone who is holding on to a level of hope. Okay. So that's what I'm getting for you guys. Moving on to Capricorn. Okay, Capricorn. So the person on your mind and their current feelings towards you. So we have the Tower on the bottom of the deck. Some of you could be thinking of a Scorpio. And the Queen of Swords. Something very unexpected has occurred between you and this individual, or it could be a prediction where with the Tower and the Queen of Swords, like an unexpected event that, you know, leads to you, leads to some sort of like a break or a separation here with the Queen of Swords. But it's like something that, you know, you don't feel prepared for. It could just be picking up on your person's energy here, where they did not expect something to occur the way that it has between the both of you. And the Tower doesn't always necessarily have to be an ending. It could also just be like a wake-up call or a realization that this person is having about you or the connection with you. Okay. How is this person feeling about Capricorn? The Lovers, some of you could be dealing with the Gemini and the Seven of Cups. Scorpion energy again, okay. Well, I'm strongly seeing that with the Lovers and the Seven of Cups, there's a level of confusion here, first and foremost. So like this person does feel very connected to you. The Lovers is usually a very intense connection, but there's some sort of decision that needs to be made. Or even though this could be a very intense connection, there's a lack of stability, you know, in the connection because of, you know, some sort of indecisive behavior here. And with the Seven of Cups, it's an energy of feeling very confused. This could be someone who feels like there are constant mixed signals between the both of you. And they do feel very intensely towards you, although there's something about the connection that doesn't feel stable, or there's something about the connection where a decision is not being made. So, you know, you guys could have great conversations. Maybe you guys spend quality time together. But when it comes to, you know, taking that next step, there may be some sort of a block here. They're trying to figure you out, but it seems to me that this person is feeling very confused. Something is not making sense to them. They may have some sort of questions that they feel went unanswered, or when they're thinking of you or this connection this week, they feel like there's a lot that's kind of just up in the air. They also feel like they've met you for a reason, but it's like trying to figure out that reason, or trying to, put A and B together, but something is just causing them to feel very, confused, or as if they don't have it together here. The Nine of Cups. You make this person very happy. I do feel like this is a connection where they feel very fulfilled or emotionally content. But this could even be an energy of we feel so content or intensely towards each other, but we're not able to get a connection off the ground. And something about your reading here is giving me a similar energy to Gemini's reading. And the Lovers is the first card in your person's feelings here. So you could be dealing with a Gemini, or maybe you have Gemini placements. So be sure to check out their reading as well. But I'm strongly getting like, yes, an intense connection, but something about the connection not getting off the ground here, or feeling like you're met with difficulties or obstacles are constantly in the way. This person could also feel like they were kind of like looking out for themselves in the past, or there may be something here that they feel like was a bit inconsiderate on their end. What's the Lovers? The Four of Cups. So they're not happy with the current dynamic, but Four of Cups is when you're, you could be fantasizing, you could be stuck in visions of what you want, but it's not the most action-oriented energy. This person could also be questioning your interest and your feelings towards them. And what's interesting is the Four of Cups is usually when you're unhappy in the current moment, and you may feel like something that you want is, it's something that you want, you do not have access to, but the truth of that card, or the message behind it, is something you want is right in front of you, but it's just not being presented to you the way that you want it to. So for example, like you may feel this person could communicate with you and you guys could find a solution, but this person could view it as, well, I'm not ready to communicate, or there's some sort of blocks that they feel. Something seems a lot more complex in their mind than the reality of the situation. The Four of Cups and the Seven of Cups could even touch on illusions that this person is having a hard time seeing past. Like, in order to have a connection with you, maybe there just needs to be a very honest conversation, right? Let's use that as a generic example. But this person is seeing it as, well, Capricorn and I are not connecting, so how are we going to reconnect? Or there's some sort of a block that they feel. They're not seeing the situation for what it is. So needless to say, I think that this is a week where this person could feel like they're kind of having like clouded thoughts, or things feel a bit foggy, if you will, for lack of better terms. The Ace of Swords, wanting a breakthrough, wanting some sort of clarity here. What's interesting is the Ace of Swords could be this person wanting to speak their truth or have, a conversation with you. But really what I see is something in particular that they want to ask you because they feel they will not know the answer unless it comes from you. So it's not like a question or something that they're trying to figure out about you that's easily accessible through your social media or through a mutual friend. It's something that they feel like they need to directly hear from you in order to gain the clarity that they're seeking. And the Ace of Swords does speak about like a breakthrough, but the other definition of it is like sacrifice or needing to leave something behind. So the Ace of Swords clarifying the Seven of Cups could be the clarity that, or something being illuminated to this person in terms of what they need to release or what they need to let go of in order to connect with you. Ace of Cups, definitely wanting a new beginning. We have two aces here. But I also think there's a fear of you moving forward or a fear of rejection, right? What they're thinking in their mind, the reality of the situation, very different. Some days they are very optimistic. Other days there are negative thoughts that they feed into. They are desiring a new beginning. This is someone who knows that they feel deeply towards you. But I think that a conversation or them speaking their truth, and maybe even you having an opportunity to kind of speak on your perspective of things would really help clear up most of the confusion that they feel. The Empress, wanting to build with you. They see a lot of potential here, but I'm strongly getting that this is someone you have history with. Like, this is someone who feels you guys have attained a lot together, but there's something that happened very unexpectedly and they want to reconnect or come together again. But this time around, they're having a realization on what needs to change. It's also someone who's becoming very frustrated with their confusion. What's the Ace of Swords? Some of you could be dealing with a Libra or a Taurus. They could also be very frustrated with the pace of this bond, or feeling like it's very, like things start and then they stop, or there's some sort of delays that they could feel. What's the Ace of Cups? The Ten of Pentacles. What they're working towards is stability. This is what they want, but what needs to happen is a conversation, or there's something in particular they're going to ask you in order to gain some sort of clarity, so that they could be sure of moving forward, or more certain of what their next steps should be. Yes, they want a new start. Yes, they feel like you make them happy and they're acknowledging how intensely they feel towards you. But there's a lot that's kind of like brewing in their mind and for them emotionally, where I strongly feel with the Ace of Swords and the Heart at the spread, a conversation would clear up most of that confusion. It seems to me that the only reason that things are very stagnant is because there's a lack of communication and a lack of clarity, where someone is constantly trying to figure something out on their own, but it's not really assisting them. Instead, it's leaving them more confused, or it's not helping them. They're ending up at square one. What's the Ten of Pentacles? The Devil and the Six of Wands. Something needs to be altered in order for this connection to take off. Ten of Pentacles and the Devil, that could be, addictions, negative thinking patterns, or something that was very repetitive in this connection that needs to come to an end in order for things to be successful between the both of you. Six of Wands. So it's not impossible to overcome, the block here, but it will require honesty from both ends, and it will also result in this person maybe asking you certain things that they're very, very confused about. For some of you, it may not make sense to you, or you may feel like, oh, wow, that's what was really going on in this person's mind. But it's because they're confused, or there's some sort of illusion. Something that they're thinking seems to be true, but it's not. We have the Four of Cups and the Seven of Cups in the same spread. Okay. So that's what I'm getting for you guys. Moving on to Aquarius. Okay, Aquarius. So the person on your mind and their current feelings towards you. Okay, so we have the Empress on the bottom of the deck. Some of you could be thinking of a Libra or a Taurus. And we have the Three of Swords. Definitely, it's kind of interesting because it's someone who definitely sees some sort of potential in this connection, but they're also feeling very torn with the Three of Swords. Like, there could be something that you guys are not seeing eye to eye on, or there's something going on within them that is causing them to feel a bit confused or torn when it comes to you. Someone here may have children of their own. There could be children in this dynamic, and that could somehow be impacting one's decisions here. Let's see. How is this person feeling about Aquarius? Okay. The Hermit. Some of you could be dealing with the Virgo, and we have the Two of Pentacles. Okay. Yeah, it seems to me, Aquarius, that this is someone who's like going back and forth when it comes to making a decision with the Two of Pentacles and the Hermit. Now, I don't feel like it's something that they're communicating to you. It's the Hermit is usually when you're on your own, or there's some sort of critical thinking taking place during a period of solitude. So I feel with the Hermit and the Two of Pentacles, there's like a decision that this person is going back and forth between, but there's something in the middle that is determining their decision, or something that they have to take into account or take into consideration prior to making a decision about this connection. So maybe for some of you, it is there are children in this dynamic. Maybe for others of you, it's something pertaining to their finances or their career, because the pentacle, like pentacle energy, is usually something that is tangible, something that's in the 3D. So connecting with you may require this person to move, or it may require them to relocate, which could then affect their job, or there's something in their, 3D or tangible realm that is going to be impacted by connecting or building a connection with you, or taking that next step here. And they're thinking about that on their own, right? So again, I don't think it's something they're communicating to you, even if they're communicating with you, but it's a decision that they're trying to, make on their own here. Page of Cups. You may find that this person is kind of like a little withdrawn this week, and I don't feel like it's anything that you're doing. It's just an energy of, I need to figure things out on my own, or I need some time for myself to kind of like get things in order. But it may come off as like detached, or they're a bit withdrawn. Page of Cups. This is someone who really admires you, and I do see that they're, taking a liking towards you. But there's also an energy where the fish, right, in the Page of Cups, it's symbolic for your imagination. So this person there could be some sort of confusion that they want to clear up, or some sort of clarity that they want from your end. Kind of like, is what I'm thinking, or is what's going on in my mind the truth? Or is it different from the reality of the situation? Is this an illusion, or am I just overthinking something, or, creating something false in my mind? The Hermit, the Wheel of Fortune, ready for a change, ready to, move forward. And even though the Wheel of Fortune, guys, it does speak about progress or a positive change, a positive turn of events, it also touches on feeling like you're at some sort of what feels like a fork in the road. So with the Wheel of Fortune and the Two of Pentacles, like there's a little bit of a back and forth energy here. I'm ready for progress, but in order to see that progress, I need to make a firm decision. And I think this is a week where they're still, looking at the situation, and they're, analyzing it, and they're figuring out what they should do. So they're in the process of making a decision, is what I see. And there's other factors this person feels they need to consider when it comes to making a decision about this connection with you, right? So this is a general reading. It could be various things that they need to consider, or something in particular. But even if it's not something to do with you, it somehow impacts the connection with you. And they feel they need to make this decision in order to fully give themselves to you, or open up to you. Like this is almost creating a block where they're like, I can't be myself or fully give myself to this connection until I make this decision. The Ace of Pentacles. This person wants to offer you something that's very stable, something you would want to accept, something you would want to say yes to. But there may be something in their environment right now that is causing them to feel like, I'm not as stable as I could be. Or I need to let go of one thing and make a firm decision in order for something to actually grow or flourish between Aquarius and I. This could also be someone who has a lot on their plate, or they're trying to maintain so many different things at once. And the Two of Pentacles could be an energy of, trying to maintain many different things at once until you realize, I can't juggle it all. So you end up losing something. The Star card. Wow. Not only does this person feel very intensely towards you, there's something very, very different and rare about how you make this person feel. I think that this person compares the connection with you to other connections that they've experienced, and there's something that stands out to them. The Star card is usually an energy of someone viewing you as possessing very unique qualities. Your ability to understand them, right? Your emotional depth. Like there's certain things that you've introduced this person to that they're just not used to, or they did not find in their other connections, whether those be romantic or platonic. Knight of Swords. I see communication. I see someone who is wanting to be open or honest with you. I feel like they want to see progress or they want something to happen quickly, but they're putting a pause, or they're, you know, hitting the brakes where it's like, okay, I want this so badly, but I also need to be cautious and think about things thoroughly when I'm making a decision, because it's somehow impacting either another person in their life or it's impacting another area of their life. Six of Swords, wanting to move closer to you, wanting to also just feel more at peace mentally, right? When you're going back and forth or you're juggling so many things at once, of course, you probably don't feel at peace. So I do see that this is someone who's trying to, you know, find a peace of mind or move away from what no longer serves them. And for some of you, being with you will require this person to either physically relocate or move away from another situation. And even though they feel intensely towards you, they know that this is a really big decision. The Judgment. I see a major shift in this connection here, guys. Some of you could be dealing with a Scorpio. The Judgment is usually like leaving your old life behind, moving towards something new, or like a pivotal or breakthrough moment in a connection. It's certainly not a change that happens overnight. It's something that you really have to work towards. It's something that's almost like a step-by-step process. But I do see a shift in this dynamic that could create a little bit of a shock factor for you. What's the Judgment? The Chariot. So progress, forward movement after, you know, a point of acceptance. So I do see this person is in the process of making a decision. But the decision is going to result in them leaving one thing behind or leaving something behind in order to, you know, connect with you here. It's an energy of you can't have both, or you can't do both things. Even if it's not another lover, it could be if this person really wants to be with you, maybe they need to physically relocate, right? Maybe you guys have agreed that a long distance union is not going to work. Well, that's a decision that they're going to have to make, and then they can't return to the past. Like they can't undo their decision is pretty much what I'm getting at here. Some of you could be thinking of a Cancer. Chariot, Ace of Swords. Definitely a breakthrough moment. I feel that you're going to receive clarity from this person. Ace of Swords, Knight of Swords. And they really are viewing this connection as it's too special to give up on. But I will say this is a week where they're thinking about this, you know, decision thoroughly. They're trying not to rush the decision. And if there is someone else involved, they are trying to be considerate. They're trying to do things in a very neat kind of way and not cause any havoc or chaos. Okay? So that's what I'm getting for you guys. Moving on to Pisces. Okay, Pisces. So the person on your mind and their current feelings towards you. So we have the Page of Cups on the bottom of the deck and the Page of Swords. Someone is very intrigued by you, Pisces, you know, with the Page of Swords and the Page of Cups. Someone's very intrigued by you, but I don't think this is the most direct energy that's coming through here. Like Page of Cups could be read as like someone who is, you know, admiring you. It could be a little bit of like a crush energy, someone who's, you know, taking a liking towards you. But with the Page of Swords, I don't believe that they're being direct with you or they're watching from afar. There could be a little bit of spying going on. How is this person feeling about Pisces? Even if you're aware of, I mean, obviously who this is, you may feel like they're not like communicating with you, or they're being a little bit like discreet in their communication or actions towards you. Okay. Six of Pentacles, Nine of Wands. I wonder if you're thinking of someone where you feel a level of neglect. And here's why. Because with the Six of Pentacles as well as the Nine of Wands, guys, like it is someone who wants to invest in a situation with you, but there is something else at hand that is taking up their attention, energy, and focus this week. So, Six of Pentacles, it could be someone who is feeling overworked, or they have a lot on their plate, or there's, you know, some sort of responsibility that they're in charge of this week, where they're thinking of you, but most of their time and focus is going towards that very thing. For others of you with the Six of Pentacles and the Nine of Wands, if there is another situation at hand, that may be the reason why there's a bit of a discrete energy, where this person is thinking of you. They are, taking a liking towards you, but there may be something else or another situation at hand that is creating a block with the Nine of Wands. There's something here that is causing this person to feel very, very restricted when it comes to fully pursuing something with you, is what I'm picking up on. This person could also feel some sort of blocks when it comes to communication. And the Six of Pentacles could be an energy of either feeling neglect or feeling like breadcrumbed in a situation. So whether it's, feeling like they were breadcrumbed in this situation, or acknowledging, hey, I do have a lot on my plate, or I was giving to more than one person where I couldn't keep up with it. I couldn't maintain that energy. Because it's someone who is admiring you, but from afar, or there's some sort of a guarded energy here with the Nine of Wands. The Empress. This person's highly attracted to you. They know your worth, your value, what you bring to the table. Some of you could be dealing with a Libra or a Taurus. But I'm strongly getting, as much as this person is viewing you as, their ideal partner, or they're acknowledging how they feel towards you, there is a block that they're having a hard time overcoming, or they're feeling very challenged by it. There could even be something that's going on in this person's personal environment that they're feeling very guarded about, where it's like, I don't want to speak about that, or they're feeling very embarrassed or, guilty about it. Like they're struggling to open up about what's impacting them, or something that they're dealing with, but they may feel like, okay, that is my issue and I need to deal with it, and I can't, kind of like bring Pisces into it. The Lovers. Something feels forbidden here, though, Pisces. Like, I'm strongly getting that. This is someone who feels intensely towards you. Like, if your question to me is, does this person have emotions towards me? Or, there could even be some sort of telepathic communication between the both of you. It could even be very specific. Like, when you're with this person or even around them, you can sense that they're, tugging on your energy or wanting your attention, but they're not taking the initiative to make the first step. And that stems from a space of something here feeling very forbidden, or they are in another situation and feeling they need to let go of that in order to fully pursue something with you without feeling that sense of guilt. Some of you could be dealing with a Gemini. And really, it's an energy of, I can't help how I feel about Pisces, but I do need to watch what I do and when I do it. There's a little bit of strategy here. There's a bit of a guarded energy, like I mentioned. You may be very different from this person's usual type as well, because the Lovers could touch on like two very different energies coming together, or someone feeling this very strong magnetic pull towards you, but they can't really put their finger on why. The Ten of Swords. There could have been a very brutal ending between the both of you with the Ten of Swords, or a sense of betrayal that this person that is resurfacing for this person. But there's like a lot of pain or something this person is dealing with, going through, but they're going through it on their own. And they're not wanting to reveal it to you because they somehow feel like it would impact the connection with you, or it would change your perception of them. Like there may be some sort of image that they're maintaining for you, or they want you to view them in a specific way, a specific light. Okay. The Six of Cups, clarifying the Empress. You are who feels like home to this person. Not only do I feel like there's a deep, intense connection here, there's a sense of belonging, or there's like a sense of like, this is who I'm supposed to be with. We were destined to meet. But the interesting part about that is like they feel they can't act on their emotions in the current moment. There's something that's causing them to feel restricted, and that's coming up very persistently here. This person feels like in a perfect world, you guys would be in a successful connection. So of course it's not a perfect world, right? But what is the very thing that's causing them to feel like they cannot be with you, right? It is a general reading. You're going to know your situation better than I will, but I'm strongly getting someone who feels these intense emotions towards you, but they also feel like something is in the way when it comes to pursuing things with you. The Seven of Swords. Wow, as I say that. This person may feel they need to move away from something, or if they were to communicate with you, they would have to be very discreet, where they would have to keep the fact that they're communicating with you away from someone else. Or Seven of Swords could also be strategy, where they're not ready to express something to you, or there's like something that they're going through that they don't feel ready to speak about. So they want to connect with you, but they're also wanting to keep something under wraps. Now I'm losing my voice. Okay, what's the Ten of Swords? Five of Cups. There is an energy of dwelling in the past, or feeling like things didn't transpire the way that they wanted, things. Like it's almost like they had a vision in their mind, or they wanted things to happen a certain way or occur a certain way between the both of you, which they feel like did not end up happening that way. So there is regret for that. But you have someone here who wants to reconnect with you and speak to you. But if they were to act on those emotions in the current moment, there would most certainly be someone that they're keeping this away from, or something that they're not telling you. So they would be coming forward without being completely transparent. Now they are acknowledging that though. So that could be the reason why they are remaining held back, because they feel they can't be open with you in the current moment, or there's some sort of guilt associated with it. What's the Six of Cups? The Eight of Swords, restrictions. These are mental restrictions, restrictions in their current environment. They feel very stuck when it comes to the situation. They can't stop thinking about you, but they're starting to understand that they can't connect with you or reconnect with you while something else is still ongoing. They really want to connect with you because of how intensely they feel, Pisces, but there is a part of them that knows it's wrong, or something else needs to end in order for them to fully give themselves to this connection. What's the Eight of Swords? The Two of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles. What do I do? What do I invest in? Two of Pentacles is when you're going back and forth. You're juggling, and you need to make a decision, or you'll end up losing something. And the Queen of Pentacles is like, where do you want to invest your time? Where do you want to invest your energy? Okay. So that is what I'm getting for you guys this week. I really do hope you were able to find a message that resonated with you here today. And thank you so much for your time.